The UFL Gambling Podcast, Week 10 preview picks and DFS episode. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by the one and only Edge Boost, the bank account that is built for better. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet, with the promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus when you do. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
This is the
Welcome. Just wanted to get you a second look at that to the UFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit. Week 10 edition preview, picks, DFS. You betcha. All right, wherever you get podcasts. So go listen or watch youtube.com/@UFL Gambling Pod. You can be a part of the bullshit. All right. So look, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Playoffs. Playoffs. One week away as we have this final useless week in this league. Excited to bring it to you as I am joined by my co-host. You've heard him on the Sports Gambling Podcast, and you should check out his Bottom Line Bombs podcast because that thing is kicking ass right there. Give it up for Scumbagger Vance, aka the Bet Detective CJ Sullivan. How are you, buddy?
Great. Glad to be here. One last regular season, week 10. And you're right. It is not a lot of consequences in these games, but that's the bed they made. We got one more week. Still opportunities with picks and DFS. We cleaned up last week, DFS and with the side. So why can't we do it again?
Amen. And look, you've gotten us for 10 weeks. You still haven't gotten one rock appearance. This pilot can't get off the fucking island. All right. No, he's got a no turn airplane. Give it up for this guy, third man in the booth, the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, which is going live later tonight with Canadian whiskey. I don't know if you heard about this Bet Detective.
No.
He's been talking shit about Molson. He's got this he's coming from Molson, which is now made in Japan, and now he's got this Canadian whiskey he's really excited about. So check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. But give it up for Justin Mark, aka No Turn. JMark, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I could, but the official beer now of the CFL is Bud Light. I could be smashing Bud Lights, but instead,
Kid Rock doing a show in Montreal next month.
Instead, we're doing Swear Jar.
What the
Canadian whiskey?
What's going on up there? Modelo's the number one American beer. Bud Light represents Canadian football. What's going on?
Foster's is brewed in Japan. It's all ridiculous.
It's these tariffs.
Let's off ourselves now. Good Lord, right? Nothing is what it seems. Nothing is what it seems. I thought Budweiser for a minute was European, right? Didn't they own
Bev or something owned them?
I thought someone in Europe sitting over there. Company, right? Yeah, some German company or something in the Netherlands sitting over there just taking pride in the fact they own an American beer company.
They bought everything. They bought the Muppets. They bought everything up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they buy the UFL because look, it's 10 weeks in. The Rock, we still haven't seen him. What the fuck's going on here, guys? I was thinking about this about 30 minutes ago, and I go, he still hasn't made an appearance. This is a fire sale. This is like it's on fire and he doesn't want to touch that thing. But has there ever been? I remember the original USFL when Burt Reynolds owned the league. I mean, he was at the fucking games all the time. You saw him with James Garner there. He's bringing a bunch of broads. Lonnie Anderson. God knows what she's doing under the bleachers. But you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of. He would bring the A-listers. What the fuck's going on? The Rock can't bring Kevin Hart to one of these goddamn things. He can't even show himself.
Yeah, he showed up the inaugural season, and I don't know. Did they have a reality TV show, or was that the USFL that had that one with the pizza and all that stuff?
I think that was USFL.
I think they could use something like that. You'd think Rock would bring some of his entertainment in.
Why wouldn't he just own it a little more and show up to the games and just with his buddies and stuff? I don't know. I don't understand it.
Or at least host it on his plant, his fucking reservation, wherever the hell he lives.
You can't host it from there, or you could be at the game shooting off shirts into the crowd, shooting off Jake Bates bobbleheads. JMark, what the fuck's going on over here?
I mean, this is the Danny Garcia show. Apparently, I don't know if they had a little bit of another TIFF 2.0, divorce 2.0. But I mean, I've seen way more of her, even though she's become limited as well. But yeah. We've seen a lot more of her than The Rock. So maybe she said, get the fuck out of here, Dwayne. This is my show.
Women don't like the club when it's empty. You know what I mean? Like when that shit, when no one's going to the club, they wait for that big ass line to say, we should go there. Just saying from my experiences. All right. we're off to a good one, right? Guys, we have a game tomorrow. We have one on Saturday and 2 on Sunday before we have the playoffs. But we did make some cash. Bet Detective has been like a monster on the DFS front. Me and JMark been a couple of sallies, I feel like, on this thing. But that's
not true. We've all been doing well all year with the DFS. I think.
Yeah, but I think you've been the best.
Well, of course, I have been the best. I wasn't going to say that, but I'm saying
call it the dead squirrel luck. Call it whatever you want to say. But here we go with another week of this, and let's just jump right into it. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the UFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit and panini prims, perhaps the SGP guys are going to be ripping packs live on air. Next Monday night, they'll be breaking a case of Panini Prims with DAPS. And you can get 10% off your favorite team with the promo code SGPN. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break to get in all the action. And remember, as always, to let it ride. Fuck's going on with these Panini Prims? Bet Detective. We got this. I'm excited about this one. I have the lock of all locks. You guys might just want to quiet down and tail me on this.
Wow. All right.
So we know this league is fixed. Right,
yep.
We know they've done everything. 100%.
No doubt about it.
Last year, this year, no doubt about it. Let's cue my slides.
Yeah, cue them up.
Yeah, we got Friday. We got the Battle Birds heading into the Beer Snake in DC, where what's our backup's name's getting the start? I'm drawing a blank on it right now.
Brandon Silvers and
Mike DeLello was the one I was looking for.
DeLello getting the full start off his 200-yard performance.
So this is the one they're going to give DC. I think DC is going to rout them. Actually, I think we should load up on DC because this is the one they're going to give them since they know they got to go to the Battle Dome. This is the sympathetic play. DC, great regular season, cap off your Beer Snake with a great win. I'm telling you, this is the lock of all locks. DC money line. I guess I'll take the under. I don't have strong conviction on the total, but I like DC on the money line. Bet Detective, what are you doing here?
Well, I do like the under so much in the look ahead. I grabbed it at 45.5. It's come down a bit. Much like last week's Birmingham, Michigan game. This first of all, it's sad that this game does mean nothing because this could have been huge if DC was able to host a game. Instead, it's not. So they're playing each other next week in St. Louis. So I think it's going to be another situation where they hold the cards tight. I know that Birmingham game went over, but it took a lot happening in the fourth quarter for that to work out. I think it's going to be a conservative game plan. I do like DeLello and getting in there, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Spencer Sanders gets in there too in the second half a little bit there. I mean, who knows with the doorman what they're going to do. I do like DC only because of that. Not that they're going to give it to him, but it is the finale of the Beer Snake at night Friday night. Which I don't know if we've seen that one time when they hosted, and it gets pretty rowdy there on a Friday night. They know it's the final game. They know it's bullshit. They can't be there next week for an untelevised soccer game. So Harris said Tommy won't play. Although it's hard to pinpoint what Tony Baloney's going to do with St. Louis too, and they're such a freight train right now. I mean, they're winning by margin.
But that's why this is a useless game. This part of the deal, the playoff game. Mm-hmm. They're gonna give DC this, so the Beer Snake will be part of the. People will be getting shit hammered and saying, "Yeah, next year we got a Defenders tickets, our season ticket package. We got to get this thing. It's a good time. Our team's good." Then next week they'll get pummeled at the Battle Dome. But this is a smash play, guys. I'm telling you, this is the lock of all locks.
I'm going to take the 2.5. I'm not as confident as you are. I mean, a game that means nothing to either team, and they don't want to give away too much. But I think I'll take the points with DC here, but I like the under the most.
This is Arlington against Memphis 2.0.
This is not Arlington versus Memphis.
Oh yeah, Get in there. Get in that action. Look, the league is they want this to happen. They want people to look at DC's record. And that's another thing. They want to boast that game in the playoffs. They want to boast that thing. Hot ticket here. DC, St. Louis.
Okay.
Spring. Just Super Bowl. It's going to be a big thing. Big thing. JMark, you in on this big dog of mine, the ultimate lock, the Vegas Dave special?
Well, it's a small dog,
this
not a
league,
big dog.
Big dog.
What's that even mean?
But I am on the Defenders, not because of the reasons you're giving out. I'm on them because I think that home field advantage will play into their favor. I think the crowd will be ready to go. And based on what I saw last week, I trust DeLello more than I trust Brandon Silvers. These two teams both have decent backups. I mean, even if you think about the running backs, you got Abram Smith back there that's probably going to get some more carries. That's a guy that used to be a starter, and he's got something to prove. You got Jervion Howard on the Battlehawks, who is a backup but still a strong player. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think DC wins it, but I'm just to be a little contrarian, I'm taking the over. I think we got a lot of points in this one.
I mean, yeah, I definitely see that. It's come down a little bit. I mean, they can't really stop themselves, it seems like. Where did Colby, where did that DeLello go? Is he an Austin P man?
Middle Tennessee at one point. He might have ended up at Austin P, but he was starting at Middle Tennessee with the Blue Raiders down there at Johnny Red Floyd Stadium in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
I remember him having some kind of record. Like, was it for a season or a single game or something like that? He had some kind of insane number.
He might have ended up at an FCS though. The more I think about it.
That's what I mean. An FCS.
Yeah, I think he got benched at Middle Tennessee, and then you know how these the youth is. They're just like, oh, you bench me, I'm out of here.
If there's adversity, I leave.
Yeah, I will fucking go to. I don't even know the name of the school down the road, but I'm there.
What do you guys, real quick? What do you guys set the line at next week's for next week's playoff game? DC at St. Louis, starters on starters. Granted, I know Dugan is technically the backup, but what do you think that line would be?
Well, this is the best part. That's why DC needs to win this week. I'm telling you, we know this league's a Ponzi scheme. This is a smash fucking play. If you dial 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE, we're going all in. DEFCON 5. Right. I'm gonna say they're gonna set after DC beats them by 20. They're gonna set this at DC minus 1.5 next week.
Oh, that's crazy. Do you think DC is gonna be favored on the road?
If they win by 20 this week.
All right,
because that means they complete the sweep.
Only if
they complete the sweep, and then they're gonna cook the books. You know, this league cooks the books, Bet Detective.
Yeah. Okay. Book cooking.
What if they win by 18?
Maybe St. Louis minus
Battle
6.
Birds minus 6.
I think it'll be the same line. Starter on starter. I think Battlehawks will be
if they get swept to a minus
3.5 point favorite.
I don't think this game's have any impact on the line next week.
I don't either.
Swept with them, and they're on their backup quarterback.
I think it'll. I don't think it'll be less than 3. I think it'll be at least 3.5 next week.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes this week. But it's a smash play, guys. Smash play. Shout out to St. Stephen Productions. Steve from New Hampshire. Hope you're well too, man. You and your family.
Love Steve from New Hampshire.
Yeah, hell yeah. We love New Hampshire. Steve, who you on this game? You going with your Battlebirds? I think he's a closet Battlebird fan, so he probably secretly hates me, which is okay. That's what I'm here for.
He likes excellence. That's all. He likes the top team in the league. He likes he likes to root for
the team they give the most home games. This is like
he's not buying into your rigged
absolutely.
bullshit.
This is like when Saban was at Alabama and they didn't play an away game for non-con away game for like 15 years, right? And they're like, it's unbelievable what he's doing there. It's unbelievable. He only plays 4 away games every year.
Then they lost 3-0 to LSU, then crushed them in a championship game in a rematch.
Yes. Exactly. And he wasn't paying players. He would never pay players. The Roughnecks are in Detroit. It is bobblehead day. I feel like every day in Detroit, even tomorrow, because this game's on Saturday, but I feel like Friday, if you're around Detroit, if you're around Ford Field, if you're in Greektown, going to that casino there, Detective, you've been to the
I've been to casinos up there for sure.
Oh yeah.
First 100 fans to come in gets 500 bobbleheads. I think that's how they're doing the ratio.
We got a whole truck we're gonna give you. Look, if you got a place for it, you got a storage
as many
unit.
as you can handle.
You got directions to your storage unit. You got to pay for the gas. But the truck's ready to go. Jake Bates bobbleheads. This is something. If anyone's going to this game, I will pay double your seat because a ticket's like what, 20? I'm gonna give you $40 for someone to get me a Jake Bates bobblehead because these are the type of things I go for.
Yeah,
it's not the Jordan bobblehead. I like that second, like the King of Springbrook. What do you say? If anyone's going to this, we will gladly pick up. I don't know if No Turn wants one, but me and Bet Detective definitely want one.
I would love Jake Bates bobblehead. I don't want a $300 football, but I'll take a Jake Bates bobblehead.
100%. That tie that room behind you together, wouldn't it?
It would be beautiful. Absolutely.
Put that thing right there. Next to that helmet, next to that dead squirrel.
Dead squirrel's down to shoot. Nothing but a Burt Reynolds textile back there on the wall.
Oh, Bates and Reynolds, baby. All right. Anyone going, please let us know. I will Venmo you that money. So please hook me and the Bet Detective up. No Turn JMark doesn't put up with bullshit bobbleheads, he says. But guys, are you going to ride the energy of the home crowd behind this bobblehead giveaway? I'm not. I'm convinced this McClendon character is the second coming of Steve Young, and I'm gonna take the 6.5. I do think the money line is live, so give me these Roughnecks. Sprinkle that. You know what? Etling looked all right, so I will take the over on 44.5, which is bold. But the Michigan's defenders, they want to rest them for the next week. It's bobblehead night. Everyone's gonna be feeling good. So give me these Roughnecks. Bet Detective, what are you doing here?
Yeah, well, shout out to the show here. If you guys listen to the Tuesday reaction show, we did a little quick peek ahead of the look ahead lines if any numbers seemed out of whack. And this is the one we pointed out because this line was 9.5 on Tuesday. And it's dropped to 6.5. JMark says he's seen 4.5 at some shops.
That's because the bobblehead giveaway, right?
Bobblehead giveaway. And actually, it was more the news, which I think we were early on the news than the books were, of Rocky Lombardi. He's going to be playing a lot of quarterback here for Michigan. It'll be some Etling, but a lot of Rocky Lombardi. Nolan made sure that everyone knew about that. So
I am a little terrified of that because Patty C, if you listen to the College Football Experience podcast, which I host over the years, Patty C had a motto, and it actually came through a couple times. Never fade a Lombardi in a big game. and this is his only start potentially of his career in the UFL. It's treacherous. I'm still going Houston, but
Yeah, no, I'll still take the 6.5 with Houston, and I agree with you on the over because I think McClendon will throw, and I also think Michigan's going to rest a bunch of their defense because they are injured on defense, so they can't afford any more injuries. The whole second half, I think they're going to shut it down. So the money line is definitely live here. I already grabbed the 9.5. I'll take more than 6.5. I don't care. But Mike Nolan saying Rocky Lombardi, quote unquote, will have legitimate reps this week.
That's just you know what, Mike Nolan, the last NFL coach to rock a suit and tie, so he does have my respects there.
He does.
Before the NFL changed that bullshit, so you can't now it's illegal. Why? What is it hurting?
I know,
right? But it's illegal. Shout out to Roger Goodell. He maybe I just think rocking the shirt and tie. He's probably just a history buff of the league. So he's like, I got a Lombardi on my team. We're getting him in the game. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he's in this league considering he was like a 2-point specialist in college, but kind of Tebow-esque. JMark, what are you doing here at that filthy Ford Field?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things maybe we're underselling, and maybe it is because we don't trust these coaches, but these guys like your Rocky Lombardis that are getting in the game. This is important reps to them. This is important game tape to them. So they are going to play their asses off. I'm a little concerned. You saw this quote from Curtis Johnson. Man, these guys never quit. I love this team, and I thank God for them. It was a great day for all of us. That win meant so much to them that I'm a little concerned about a little hangover.
He's putting in the work for his contract year, so he comes back.
Yeah. I am going to take Houston with you guys because I do think that them playing their starters, they are the better team, right? I do think Jalen McClendon is a dog. I did, like I said, saw this down to 4.5 some spots, so I like the 6.5 a lot better, obviously. But I'll play contrarian with you on the sides again. I think this is going to be an under game. I think it's going to be a little bit sloppy, a little bit slow. And give me Houston and the under.
There we go. So we're all on the same side so far. We're going to get to Sunday's games. But before we do that, I want to let the good folks know that the UFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. You can earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match that deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Love the fact they're adding UFL. Been playing UFL for the past year or two in Underdog. And look, Underdog's going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Yes, hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonuses get. So sign up, but when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back on the UFL Gambling Podcast where crossroads meet bullshit. And shout out to St. Stephen Productions. Want to know when that CFL Gambling Podcast? We just dropped an episode earlier tonight. Go check it out. CFL Gambling Podcast. Probably going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, but because sometimes they play on Mondays like Labor Day and stuff.
Was that your first episode today?
First episode. There's some juicy futures bet detective. I'm surprised you didn't have me on the bombs. It's okay. I'll
have you on next week. We'll discuss all the new rules. I heard there's some exciting new penalties and rules that Canadians have adopted to the league.
But they got the real kickoff.
All right, that's all that matters.
So they got pushed. Look, there are some cockanimi rules they're adding, but it's Canada. you know they're gonna do some foo shit with some of this stuff. But I'm
always up for juicy futures, though.
Yeah, we got some really just go check out that episode, CFL Gambling Podcast, and check out the bottom line Bob's while you're at it. Sunday, doubleheader. The Arlington Renegades are heading into San Antonio, Texas. Son of bum. I got no idea if he's going to be there, but he's tweeting out he's winning the championship next year. I think he's going to be there. Just going to go make a prediction. He's going to be there. Arlington is laying 6.5. The over under at 41.5. I'm all over Arlington here. Get this San Antonio shit. San Antonio's quit. Arlington's best team in the league. That's why they're not going to the playoffs. And I will take the under 41.5 as well. I don't think Brahma's going to put up much offense. So give me these Renabirds and lay the 6.5 down. Bet Detective, what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I think this is a repeat of last week there when Arlington versus
They're the
Memphis.
best team in the league.
They're facing the two worst teams back to back, and they're letting out a lot of anger for their season, things that didn't go their way. And this was one we slipped on because this was like at 4 on our Tuesday show, and I didn't take it, but I'll still lay the 6.5. I think they poured on them once again. King of Spring gets to 500. Stoops wants to get this win. I think it's an exact replica. San Antonio, the worst defense in the league, gives up 7.9 yards per play. Yeah, I think the total, like you said, the Brahmas have to participate for this to get over, which I think they may be able to sneak it in. I think Arlington puts up 30 either way, so the rest is up to San Antonio. But I love Arlington minus 6.5 here.
Yeah, smash play. Bat Detective, the Calgary Stampeders, back to the CFL. They've been complaining that they haven't got great food.
What?
Yeah, it's almost like Pizzagate 2.0 here. We're getting bad food there in Calgary.
Yeah,
they're not giving top-notch meals.
Yeah, I've been to Calgary. The food's terrible. All right, get used to it, fellas.
They're going from New Orleans to they're drafting kids from Tulane and LSU. They get up there.
You're getting kids from the ACC. Yeah, you're not getting that shit up in Calgary. All right.
Don't worry though. Calgary is correcting this by making sure they get a hot breakfast.
They do.
I don't know if that's a bowl of oatmeal or what, but they're gonna.
Yeah, they'll give you a hot breakfast and then the rest of the day is drinking. That's what Calgary does.
Meth, a little bit of meth too. That's Edmonton. JMark, what are you doing here at the with the Renabirds and the Brahmas?
The Renabirds, yeah, you can't be Mr. 500 unless you get to 500. So Renegades are going to win this game.
This might be available on 1-800-PICK Dundee.
Yeah, I agree with that. We should have smashed it at 4.5, but I still like it at 6.5. I like it anything up to, I don't know, 10, 12. If you can find an alt line somewhere, play it because the Renegades are going to dominate this game.
I'm sorry. Continue. Yes.
But no, you're good. We're all on the same side so far. What could go wrong?
Alt lines. What are you, Aaron Dolan? You got that special ESPN book that's gives out these numbers that no one else can find?
Yeah, she's always like, you can bet this drive to end in a field goal, and I'm like, fucking where? I'm on ESPN.
Yeah, where you? Patty Power over in Belfast.
Gotta love Patty Power. And I like the under on this game. I think Arlington's going to put up some points, but I think they'll lose some of their momentum towards the end because they don't give a shit. They know their season's over, and I don't think the Brahmas.
I think JMark's he's gonna be dial. This is the game he wants to watch most all weekend, just because when they cut to the end of the game interview, Luis Perez is gonna retire, and then JMark will celebrate.
Oh my God, the quarterback is toast.
Yeah, but the unders is the under a better play than the actual bet of laying the points there?
No way. No. Arlington, we were just as confident as Arlington last week, probably more confident. But I think, like I said, I don't see anything different. And Arlington started off slow in that game as well. So I think Arlington minus 6 is much safer than anything with that total.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, then the nightcap is my Birmingham Stallions. Skip Holtz calling all these coaches bellboys. Gonna call Jim Turner a goddamn. Where's Jim Turner working next year? Where do you guys? He says we got to do something here, right?
He's on the breakfast line in Calgary. He's started off that slot.
Birmingham's laying 6.5, and look, I think we should hammer Memphis here. Birmingham just had that big game against Michigan. This is a Memphis power play, right? The only problem is I think you have to take the points because Memphis will fuck this up probably, right? But give me the showboats and the points. I'm gonna jump on this over too. I think Jim Turner's gonna have these boys. The dresser is getting loose. All right, give me Memphis plus the points here. Bet Detective, what are you doing here?
I will never say the words. I think we have to hammer Memphis by any means this season.
It's the final game of their existence.
Well, that is. I'm looking for positives for Memphis, and that is definitely one of them. This is the final week for the majority of the league, so they will put it all out there. You would think, their last chance ever to put something on tape or do whatever. So that being said, Skip Holtz doesn't really rest starters as much. I mean, I know that he's going to get Andrew Peasley in there, and I like Andrew Peasley, the Wyoming kid. But at the same time, Jamar Smith will play, and he plays his starters. He plays them up and down. That's what he does. He's kind of brick-headed like that. So I'm not racing to take the points with Memphis. I get the angle, but I don't trust them, to be honest with you. They're terrible. I don't care who. I don't care if Birmingham puts all their backups in. Their backups are just as good as Memphis' starters, and they'll run right through them. So I'll lay the 6.5 with Birmingham.
Oh, my God, this guy. This fucking guy is taking Birmingham 3 straight weeks. Meanwhile, he's got a power rank like 12th.
And I was right. I was right, though, all 3 straight weeks. Well, this will be the 3rd week.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, I don't know if we keyed in on this, but Rocky Lombardi's actually getting the start. I just saw that tweet. Okay. Yeah. I know he was going to play. I didn't realize he was going to start, but that is being reported right now. JMark, what are you doing here at the Liberty Bowl?
This is one of those things on the UFL Gambling Podcast that I hate to do when Colby's on one side and we're on the other, because he's not a very graceful winner if he wins. But I'm with you, CJ. I think the Stallions backups are better than the Showboat starters.
Don't be a fucking idiot.
I don't think anybody's going to really show up. I don't think anybody's going to show up to this game. I mean, they've had trouble getting crowds there all year. I think that's going to continue. And do we know who's starting for the Showboats? I mean, they didn't start dress to win last week, even though they ended up putting.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Because I don't think it matters. Their quarterbacks have been terrible, especially recently. I mean, Wynn gave them initially gave them a little bit of a bump, but that was it. That's been over. So give me Birmingham to just roll and to show the league like, hey, maybe we didn't dominate as much this year, but we're still here.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a combination of Troy Williams and Dresser Wynn and whoever the hell they pull out of the stands.
Don't let the Dresser get loose. All right.
He had a moment. I mean, he had a Guantanamo Bay little window where he seemed all right, but then he fell right off the earth, right off the dresser again.
I want the Showboats back because they're a classic franchise. I know they've done everything to botch their look and image, but we making it look like a fucking powerboat too is ridiculous.
You don't like that logo? That is weird. Yeah, it's like a cartoon tugboat.
They're just botching it. They're phoning that thing in. But I want that franchise there because I like the Showboats name, and they should go get Terrell Buckley. I know he's coaching Mississippi Valley State, but don't worry, he'll be fired by the end of the year. You can get him next season. All right, I miss T-Buck. Yeah, guys, the smash play. I'm just gonna, the smash play. It's DC, and I'm going to give out a parlay. DC, Houston parlay.
Toss Memphis in there, you coward. Put them in there.
Throw in these Showbirds.
Yeah, what are you talking about? We're all stupid for not taking them. You got to put them in there. What's that money line? I don't even see a money line on Houston. I think that's how crazy this Lombardi information is. The books are terrified. What do we do? Is he related to him? What does he know?
Jump in these Showbirds. All right. All over this. We're going to parlay the hell out of this. Have a good old time.
What's that pay, JMark? Is ESPN bet have those numbers?
I'm working on
3-team money line parlay: Memphis, Houston, and DC.
You're going to have to jump in on this action, Pat Detective.
I mean, it sounds fun.
Houston.
I'll tell you that.
18-1.
Come on. Get yourself a new car.
Why are we not throwing in Renegades -6.5 with the lock that is to make it 34-1?
I don't like laying chalk in my money line dog parlays.
Texas
is
always tricky.
Yeah, I don't want a boring ass -110 play in there.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Yeah. What's give away your top lock, Bat Detective and JMark?
Top lock back-to-back weeks, Arlington. Let's do it. I mean, they're gonna lay the wood. I'm not gonna say Houston plus 9.5 since that's not available. Right now, as the book says, Arlington -6.5. They're gonna take out more anger on the final game of the season against the worst defense in football, UFL football.
JMark, what's your top play?
Yeah, I got to agree with that. Arlington is the play here, and I am putting him in a parlay, but I got to go with Birmingham. I'm not believing in those boats. So let's go Birmingham.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's go Birmingham and Renegades to both cover, Roughnecks to win, and DC to win outright.
That's 17-1? Nice. What's a DC Houston money line? Just a little two-teamer before we even get to Sunday money line parlay. Yeah, that's
4-1.
There we go.
That I like.
There we go. Jump in on that action. All right, folks, we are going to get to our DFS part of the show, but before we do that, I want to let you know that the UFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit's brought to you by Rhythm. Look, our job at SGPN is to help find the best picks. And now we got a new tool that takes things to a whole new level. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. Yes, these AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think, a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and the win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. There's no touts, no noise, just clean data back bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start getting smarter, you donkeys. All right. Get your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by Circa. They're in their fantasy football giveaway. Yes, if you haven't heard of the Circa, it's a fantastic casino, world's largest sports book, Las Vegas, Nevada. They're giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Las Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their entire time. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-team league, 6 double king rooms. You can hold your draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim. Have you seen Stadium Swim? Oh man, Bobby Knight's quote: "Bury me upside down so you can kiss my." I want to be buried at Stadium Swim. All right, with the $5,000 food and beverage credit they're gonna give you while you're drafting, you're gonna get loaded limo transportation to and from the airport. I mean, they're going to have one of those fucking guys with a sign. You know what I mean? Mr. Bartolucci, get in here, right? A welcome party at the Legacy Club, a reservation at the world's largest sports book with a $500 beverage credit, plus a 2-hour open bar package at the Overhang Bar. Holy hell, this sounds like the greatest weekend of your life. The contest runs May 5th through June 30th. Here's how you enter: sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the NBA and NHL playoffs. And obviously the UFL action is available there where crossroads do meet bullshit. Jump over there. For true degens too, they have the MyBookie money bag, which is a ton of fun. You just randomizer, a lot of fun. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, let's get out of this. Get rid of the slides. Guys, it's time to dominate in a little DFS action. We've given out top lineups, top 10 lineups. A couple years back, we won this fucking thing first place. We've been hot on this. This is why you really tune in. All right. How'd you guys find this week? I think there's a lot of value with all these fucking backups in. I think I'm going to turn on the lineup with a Lombardi and Patty C's honor just in case you don't fade a Lombardi in a big game. But
not a bad play.
Yeah, I loaded up at the quarterback spot with our boy Mike DeLello from the DC Defenders. So at $6K, bargain shopping. He's going to play majority of the game, we think. Bet Detective, you in on this?
I agree he's a good play, and I also agree there's a lot of value this week with all the backups you're going to get there that are priced like they're backups all season. DraftKings way behind on the pricing of the UFL all season. JMark was saying that Tamu up there, he's not even going to play up the the top 10. So there's a lot of value to be had. So there's different strategies you can use. As far as quarterback goes, though, like we said, great price at DeLello, $6,000. I'm a little worried that Spencer Sanders will get in there. Spencer Sanders is 7,700, which is hilarious. I mean, if he does get in there, it'll only be like a little bit of quarter sprinkle. So DeLello's a good play for sure. But there's only two quarterbacks. I paid, which isn't even a top dollar. But there's only two quarterbacks that we know for sure if they don't get hurt will play the entire game. That's Luis Perez and Jalen McClendon. So I think those are your choices. If 9,100 and 9,200 respectively. Perez, of course, going against San Antonio, the worst defense in the league. We know they're going to load up. So I switched it up and went with McClendon because also with Michigan resting defensive starters in the second half, final game, higher total in that filthy dome. Who knows if Arlington's so balanced they don't pour it on with Perez. I don't know. There's no real choosing between. I don't think you can go wrong with either McClendon or Perez. I'd pay for either one of them. I went with McClendon at 9,100.
There we go. The pussy pack. I was gonna go with him before I thought about that fumble though.
Yeah, that fumble killed him.
That fumble just pissed me off. He's pussy packed through and through. JMark, what are you doing at the quarterback spot?
For hopefully the last time. That I have to consider rostering this guy. 9,200. CJ just talked about him being one of the guys you could start. Give me Luis Perez.
Wait a second. You're the guy that's been talking shit about him. He's average. He can't wait to get him out of the league, and you're loading up with him?
Yeah, he is average, and this is in honor of never having to hopefully look at his name.
You do
got
to plan for his final game of his career if he does retire.
I've never had such hatred for even McClendon who fumbled. I feel like what's the best part about this Bet Detective is JMark has such a vendetta against these players. There's a couple players that I feel like
two of the best quarterbacks in the league he hates.
Hey, I would tip Chad Kelly. So.
Jim Kelly's nephew, buddy. All right.
Yeah, that's why he's still playing.
That's
on his 14th chance.
He has a lot of off the field issues on the field somehow. Like he does behavioral problems on the field and off the field. He's amazing.
I mean, look, talent is talent. All right.
Yeah, I guess he's got it somewhere.
What the hell are we talking about? JMark, so you're going Luis Perez at the running back spot.
Yeah.
I took a shot. San Antonio's rush defense is fucking horrible.
Yes.
So I went with this Day Hunter character out of Hawaii.
I wouldn't call this taking a shot. he's been the second biggest workhorse for the last month.
I like saying his name. You know what I mean? Give me this Day Hunter kid.
Yeah.
This guy's
a shot on him.
Let me tell you, he's a big swinging dick. He's gonna do some damage to this San Antonio Brahma team.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Bet Detective?
No, I have Day Hunter as well. He's averaged 13 fantasy points a game over the last month, and
you're taking a shot on him too.
I'm taking a shot at a guy who's had 77% of the backfield work. And he's the clear number one. And like you said, the Brahmas have the worst defense, 4.1 yards per carry during the week, during the year. Let's see what this kid can do in this final week of the year at 8,200. He's been in my lineup for the last couple of weeks, and I think he's someone you almost have to have in your lineup this week.
I'm sorry, JMark, a no turn. What are you doing here at the running back spot?
Yeah, I have 3 running backs, but he's not my most expensive, but I might as well give it out. I'm taking a shot on this Day Hunter guy,
take a shot.
Let's see what he can do.
God damn it, I like these shots we're taking here. We're getting bold on the UFL Gambling Podcast. Day Hunter auto play, folks. That's what that means. Triple lock. Look, and to me, I also did 3 running backs, and we know this league's been full of shit the whole season. It lingers. All right. Some could say that. So Lorenzo Lingard, the former 5-star that Bet Detective was all over a week ago.
Love him.
I know he's playing Michigan. Michigan's got their second straight defense in. Probably going to play Lombardi on the defensive side of the ball too.
Yeah.
5,900.
Love him.
Let's go with Lorenzo Lingard.
And if you looked at his runs, I mean, he looked great.
He's a 5-star. Let me tell you something. There's not many 5-stars that go to the fucking spring league.
I mean, his cuts and vision. I mean, he looked. I mean, it was incredible. Why weren't they playing this kid all year? He's just insane. I mean, I'm sure there's the reasons, but yeah, no, I like
Curtis Johnson's the reason.
Yeah, it's true. I like him a lot, though. You're right about that. I'll go with my lower running back then. I think me and JMark probably have the same expensive running back there. I mentioned him on the Tuesday show. Someone we're going to look forward to here. The St. Louis tipped their hand last week of who their backups are going to be, and Javarian Howard looked great. He's $5,000 running back for St. Louis. Once he got in there in the second half, he only put up 12 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. So, and that was in this half of football. So give him the entire game here. Javarian Howard at 5,000. I think that's a steal against a very, as we know, leaky DC defense.
I like it. JMark, did you follow the Bet Detective there?
Yeah, great minds think alike. Still not my most expensive guy because he's the cheapest one. But yeah, I also have Howard. I mean, when we've seen him get in the game, obviously he's not been in a lot because Sailors is so good. But he does run hard and he does look good. So I think it's a great play at 5,000.
Yeah, and I'd be shocked if Sailors sees the field on Friday night. He's too valuable.
Yep.
Well, at the third running back spot, I went with this Toa Taua character for Michigan. The guy's been getting in the end zone. I am a little concerned about reps. Actually, you know what? I should pivot to your boy because he's not going to get the reps, right? He's just not going to get the reps.
That's what kept me off him for sure.
What was your boy's name for Battlebirds?
For Battlebirds?
Yeah.
Oh,
Howard.
Howard. Yeah, Javarian Howard.
Nah, I don't like that fucking guy. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna go with this Michigan running back Turner. All right, put him in the fucking game, coach.
St. Louis has got another one, Latua. You can do for. He's just as cheap. He had 66 yards and a touchdown last week.
I got 5K just sitting here too.
Yeah,
sitting here. Where are you going with your third running back, Bet Detective?
My most expensive is, and this is almost out of respect, because this is the most expensive he's been, but I've been on him for about a month now as well, and that's Jashawn Corbin for San Antonio. He's at 8,600, which is that's his peak. Now, there's a reason why. I mean, his workload has been insane. Now Lovett is coming back this week off the IR, so he might split into it, but it still doesn't matter. I mean, look at some of these numbers. He has 14 more carries than anyone else, than the next closest player in just attempts over the last 3 weeks of a stretch. And his snap share 75%, route share 66%. He's been dominating. Now, the game script might be a little worse versus Arlington, obviously, in this game, but I don't care. He just looks great. He's the best running back in football right now, in UFL right now, as far as usage and production. So I'll go with him again. 14-8. Even them getting blown out last week versus St. Louis, he still had 14 for 85 and a touchdown.
Woo! Getting it done.
Yeah.
Getting it done. JMark, third back. Where are you going?
Yeah, for anybody listening or watching, I promise we don't talk about these before. It's just great minds thinking alike. I also have Corbin. He's my most expensive running back. And like CJ said, even if they're behind, he's getting the ball. They're giving him the ball, and he's doing stuff with it. So it's hard not to roster him.
Yeah. Are you worried about Lovett at all, JMark?
Not really. I think if Lovett gets in there, it's 5-6 carries at the most.
I agree.
At the wide receiver spot, I did roster a tight end, but I don't know if you guys went with the tight end.
Well, announce it.
Well, it's my boy
Jesus.
I think I've had him for the entire season. Jace Sternberger.
Yeah.
I know he burned your Bet Detective, but
I actually eyed him up this week. He's only like 4,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy cheap price for him. But like I said, because Skip Holtz plays his starters. I mean, he's going to be out there.
And now that you bring that up, I'm just gonna give away, but I got Deion Kane too. So that I'm going all stallion on the receiving.
Right.
I think Deion Kane will actually play.
I like that as you gave out Memphis as your lock dog smash play.
Yeah,
exactly
and
what
the
I was
under,
thinking.
and the under. But all I need is 5 for 50, 5 for 50 to score.
There you go.
But what are you doing? Wide receiver and tight end wise, guys. Bet Detective.
I do not have a tight end, although Sternberger is a great play at 4,000. I'll give you my most expensive player, expensive receiver, most expensive player, I think, in DFS, at least I know skill player-wise. The reason why I went with McClendon, because I want to do this hookup with Justin Hall, who has just an insane usage. I mean, that's all he looks to last week. What did he have last week? He had 10 for 126. It's very reminiscent of Antonio Brown days back in the years when he would just get 18 catches for 146. Like, it was just nonstop every single week. Like, that's all Justin Hall keeps doing. So final week of the year, I want to get that hookup, the McClendon Hall hookup. It's such a low floor and a high ceiling. I mean, high floor and high ceiling. Like, he's going to get the numbers no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, that many targets, unbelievable. So, JMark, what are you doing? That's your top.
Yeah,
top,
90
receiver.
$9,100. His targets have been 11, 8, and 10 the past 3 weeks, but he's turned those into 27 points, 22 points, 30 points, sacking them with Luis Perez. That's Tyler Vaughn's.
Yeah.
Luis has just recently been just blanketing, like looking at him, focused on him. So yeah, I went with Vaughn's for Luis Perez's last ride. Let's get him out of here.
Great hookup.
There we go. So I go again because I gave out both my stallion stack.
Well, I went with the other receiver because I couldn't afford Vaughn's, but after I went with Justin Hall, obviously. But Javonte Payton, I want any piece of the Arlington offense at 5,600. All these receivers out there have the potential to put up huge games in this one. So at 5,600, a little bit of a discount, maybe I can get lucky and get him in the end zone there.
JMark?
Yeah, so 4,300. I went with a guy who he's sort of a backup wide receiver, but he's still gotten plenty of playing time this week, and I think he can prove himself. And that's Frank Darby for the Battlehawks. I do think Brandon Silvers will be able to throw the ball all right and connect. And Darby at only 4,300, I feel like that's a bit of a discount, especially with their top guys out.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many of these receivers this week. Blake Jackson is another one on St. Louis. You can get, he's like 3,900. And then we were talking before the show about those DC receivers because they are going to be benching Cornell Powell, and I can't imagine Chris Rowland will be out there for too much either. So you're looking at guys like Braylon Sanders, Seth Williams, Jaden Mickens, Javon Antonio. They're all in like that $4,000 to $5,000 range.
Yeah, and Blake Jackson going up against his former team too.
Yep. Oh, revenge angle like that.
Like that. Defensively, because we were all through our rosters, right? I went through mine. Yep. Okay. I don't overthink it. The best team in this league is the Arlington Renegades. That's why they're not going to the playoffs. They are going to shut down the San Antonio, bullshit offense that Peyton Pardee and company are trying to run there at that filthy Alamo Dome. So all over Arlington there. Like I said, I kept like 5 G's on the table. I don't need it. I don't need your stinking money. Bet Detective, what'd you do on the defensive side of the ball?
Arlington is definitely the number one defense to take this week, without a doubt. But I was pulling out lint in my pockets once I got to the defense, so I had to go deep down. And I'm going to take a shot, unlike Day Hunter, at the most inexpensive defense here. And I'm going to take Houston at 3,500 and see if we can get one of those Rocky Lombardi 2-point conversions picked off and returned.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
And it's Houston defense. They look lively, obviously. Coach Johnson's got them playing, they're rallying, and they score. Even when they do let them stuff, they're opportunistic and they can bring it to the house anytime. So I think Houston's going to have a lot of opportunities to make big plays out there in that game defensively.
All over it. Sprinkle that money line. JMark, what'd you do on the defensive side of the ball?
Same exact thing. Houston Roughnecks, 14 sacks, 4 defensive touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 6 defensive fumble recoveries. This defense, they're good at forcing turnovers and they're good at scoring. I mean, that's one thing that Curtis Johnson has done well. That or just his players are excelling there. I don't know if he can get the credit, but Yeah, I love playing Houston Roughnecks against Rocky Lombardi.
Amen. And St. Stephen Productions, if you've never been to the Alamodome, yes, it's filthy, but it's a thing. You know, football should be played outdoors. Anything inside is filthy.
Yes. Steve from New Hampshire, let me tell you, that's the joke. Anytime Colby says filthy dome, it can be the most pristine, the brand new, Raider Dome, SoFi, the Minnesota
They
Dome.
didn't make the game to be played indoors.
It's filthy because
they did not make the game to be played indoors. Indoors is for roller rinks. Ask your boy Mike Ditka.
Yeah, that's great. I tried to. I was making a video with Mike Ditka the other day, and I tried to get footage of him doing that when he would roll. It was on the CBS pregame show when he roller skated away. Yeah. I couldn't
at the Metrodome. At the Metrodome, he's rolling through that thing.
It was great.
Yeah. I mean, look, football shouldn't be played indoors. It's just a thing. It shouldn't be, guys. But look. The UFL's a lot of dome games this weekend. Bobblehead giveaways. Get out there, get us a bobblehead. Me and Bet Detective, and maybe even JMark, if you're kind enough. And by the way, if your tickets,
why not? They're free ananyway. Grab a whole handful.
If your ticket's only good for one, get that shit out of here. Tell that guy get the fuck out of here. Give me my Bates bobblehead. Yeah, folks, give JMark a follow on Twitter at JMark Football. JMark, aren't you going live in like an hour?
Yeah, less than. Catch us on Old Fashioned Football, talking about the NFL schedule, some of the news, and reviewing Swear Jar Canadian whiskey.
There you go.
There we go. Also, check out the Bet Detective. Bottom Line Bob's podcast. Fantastic stuff there. What'd you guys cover this week?
Thank you. Well, we got to the next level of my $20 to $20 million with the Oklahoma City Thunder victory last night. Never in doubt. Game was over within 5 minutes. Squirrel tail update is over with. But so the next step will be going to Vegas to rekindle the road to 10 million thing out there. So I'm going to be driving out there, doing a show from the road. And I might even, they give you that Circus got that great deal where they give you $100 food, $100 drink. I might have to come back to the drinking so I can get some of that single barrel select Iowa legendary rye at Circa Bar that JMark has promoted. So tune in next week. Yep, I'll be doing shows live from Vegas.
There we go. I'm also on Twitter at TheColbyD, and CJ's on Twitter, by the way, at CJ Sullivan _. Football podcast should not be recorded indoors. They didn't make the podcast to be outdoors. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I mean, come on, you just got
there's nothing more obnoxious than an outdoor podcast, to be honest with you. With a green backdrop and just like the whole out, that's ridiculous.
Check out the college football experience. We're starting on Sunday. The journey begins. 136 teams, 136 podcasts. We do it each and every year, but this year it's 136 because Delaware and Missouri State. Also, check out the FCS College Football Experience and the Sports Gambling Podcast, which is coming right up next with some UFL talk. So buckle up. All right. Till next time. This is the UFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Lost my mind. I'm just ahead of my time. My brain is insane. The mind tricks the body thinks the mind's crazy. Rocking at first was hell without rocker. I pop up in spots, they screaming, you clockwork. I'm dilated, the fuck off, I ain't doing it. Before weatherman dropped, they thought I might have ruined it. Elusive, I just deny rumors. Smile and give punchlines with dry humor. See what the future brings. In 03, I got on MTV. Time is bug, that's the message I'm sending them. Sign with Slug and survive beef with Eminem. I mention different events in my sentences. It's dangerous to reminisce or remember it. And still it's evidence, check 1, 2, 1, 2. Less punches and spit what I've been through. I stayed here, got booed, but kept rapping. The same year got sued by Kurt Natman.